Mature content. The following stream contains content that may not be suitable for all audiences, including mature themes, strong language, and potentially sensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised.
What the F is what I'm going to say. What's up, everybody? All right, good. It looks like you should be able to hear me back on my original program. Sorry, 1 second. Should be live on Facebook, the tubes of you, Twitch, and TikTok. I should be. Thanks for being here. Gonna do some rewatch of some testimony from yesterday and maybe days before that, depending on how much we get to. Let me just hey, Sarah, Boss Lady, Sharon, Sherry, Lindsay, Betty, Christine, Absent-Minded Jay, Jennifer J, Lindsay, did I say Lindsay already? Boss Lady, Sharon, Shelly. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hopefully Facebook is still working. Oh, it is. Last time Facebook shut off immediately. Live on Facebook if you're on there. So let's get to it. Hopefully the screen doesn't freeze up on me like it did several times the last time I tried this. So I want to start with this woman who is Kouri's friend and seemed like she herself received a walk the dog letter that maybe we weren't aware of, because she's clearly still friends with old Kouri, which is like, how could you still be friends with her? But she is. So I wanted to watch this. So I think I got it all set up here. Let's just make this. And she's like a supermodel, this girl. So thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. I think that should be good. We got the chat over here. Maybe put the chat over here. I don't know. Let's see. Trying to see how I can see that if there's a chat on Facebook, but I have no idea how to see if anyone's in the chat on Facebook. I don't see like a chat option. Any hoozle. What's up, Meg? Let's get to it. All right, we got
Please
sound.
proceed.
Good afternoon, ma'am. What, ma'am, is your name?
Allie Staking.
Is your last name spelled S-T-A-K-I-N-G-S?
No S. S-T-A-K-I-N-G.
I'm sorry. There's only one of you.
Yes.
Mistaking. Would you pull the mic a little closer to you?
Bloodwork was cracking jokes. He was cracking jokes on Thursday.
Okay.
You can sit wherever you're comfortable. It's just easier to move the mic. Thank you. Please proceed.
Apologies, ma'am. Do you know Kouri Richins?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
We
I do.
record everything, so yeah.
Yes,
I
I
saw
do.
that you were nodding, but how do you know Kouri Richins?
We grew up together. School.
When did you first meet her?
I met her in, I think, junior high school.
Since junior high school, about how often do you see or speak with her?
I talked to her pretty frequently.
Are you one of her best friends?
Yes. Yeah. I was, yeah.
You were.
I am, yes.
Either way.
Yes.
Okay. Did you and Kouri Richins attend a Finding True Self retreat at the Sedona Mago Center for Wellbeing in Arizona in February of 2021?
Yes, we did.
I hope that at the end of this retreat they were at, they were like, Kouri, we found your true self. You're a fucking asshole.
As part of that retreat, did each of you complete an assignment in which you wrote your life story in third person?
Yes, we did.
Scott, can I get Exhibit 2-4, please? Can you scroll through for the witness and counsel?
By the way, real quick, I have been just like awful doing this streamer things. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm Jay Bronius on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere. Follow me and hit the likes if there's likes on whatever you're at, please. And thanks for being here.
Ma'am, do you recognize that as the form that you and Kouri Richins filled out during the retreat?
Well, I never read it at the retreat, but that's the Sedona Manga logo, yes.
And is that Kouri Richins' handwriting?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit Exhibit 2-4 and publish.
Your Honor, we'd renew our prior objections, 401, 402, and 403. I'm not sure that there's enough foundation at this point to put it in through this witness. She said she never saw it at the time, and I don't know if there's enough foundation about the handwriting at this point.
The 401, 402, 403 issues have been ruled on by the court. The court stands on its prior denial of those objections. Mr. Bloodworth, talk to me about foundation.
Your Honor, maybe I'll just or
Please.
question a little bit.
Yeah.
Over the years, have you read Kouri Richins' handwriting?
Yes and no. I'm mainly through text, but yes.
Are you generally familiar, though, with her handwriting script-wise?
Not comfortably enough to identify it, no. But it looks like her handwriting, yes.
And is that, Scott, can you go to the top? That logo at the top, is that consistent with the form that each of you individually filled out while at the Sedona Mago Retreat Center?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves 2-4 into evidence.
Your Honor, we object. She said she's not comfortable enough to identify her handwriting, and she never saw Kouri write this or saw it at the time it was done.
Counsel, would you approach for a second?
Approachal.
Or is denied at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll revisit it. Thank you. Ma'am, are you familiar with Kouri Richins' house flipping business?
Yes.
How so?
We were going to hire her to do work for us. Me and my kid's dad.
And did you understand it was a successful business?
I did. I believed it to be, yes.
Did you know whether or not the business was in any financial distress?
No, I did not.
Ma'am, are you familiar with Josh Grossman?
Yes.
How so?
I knew that he was... What do you mean?
Do you know who Josh Grossman is?
Yes, I know of him, yes.
How do you know of him?
Kouri told me about him.
What did Kouri say about him?
She said that they were having an affair.
And when did she tell you this?
It was about June 2020.
Did she tell you the status of that affair when she spoke to you in June 2020?
Could you clarify?
Was it ongoing at the time?
Yes, it was ongoing.
Did she ever tell you that the affair was broken off?
She did.
When did she tell you the affair was broken off?
My last visit prior to Eric passing, she told me that she'd ended things with Josh and chose her family. It had been over for about 9 months at that point.
And was that last visit you had with Eric Richins on the weekend of February the 20th, 2022?
Yes, I believe so.
And she said then that she had broken it off 9 months earlier.
Yes.
Your Honor, may we just approach briefly to make sure we have a common understanding?
Yes.
So many freaking approachals this day. The stoner guy did not return for this day of testimony. If you know, you know. Why do I feel like my mic? All right, that should be good. And I also don't see the hair eater.
Mistaking on that visit you mentioned, the weekend of February 20th, 2022. Did there come a time when you, Kouri Richins, Eric Richins, and maybe others, were having a conversation about Eric Richins becoming ill on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Who was present for that conversation?
Myself, Kouri, Eric, Selma, and Wade, our other friends.
How did that conversation arise?
What do you mean?
Who started it?
I can't remember who started the conversation.
How did you come to learn about whatever happened on Valentine's Day?
Eric told us.
What did Eric Richins say?
He said that he thought that Kouri had tried to poison him, but it was more of a funny story. It was like an allergic reaction as well.
Like, why does she's clearly like holding back. Just answer the question. Like, she's like almost like, answer the questions.
What we had thought it was.
So Eric jokingly, I want to accurately capture
we were laughing at the story.
So did Eric,
along with Eric.
Right. Did Eric jokingly say that Kouri Richins had tried to
Yes, and we all teased Kouri for trying to kill him or poison him or whatever.
Whoa, that little slip of the tongue there. A little slip of the tongue there. Didn't mean to say kill.
Kouri for trying to kill him or poison him or
Whoa.
whatever he thought it was.
Hey now.
How did Kouri Richins react to Eric Richins jokingly say that she tried to poison him on Valentine's?
She laughed about it. We were all laughing.
Did she say anything about what happened on
She
Valentine's?
said no, that's not what happened, that he had, that it was an allergic reaction or something, or it wasn't that dramatic, it didn't happen like that. Something along those lines.
Did she say how it happened or what happened?
No, not that I can recall.
Just that it didn't happen as Eric jokingly said it happened.
No, but with Eric right there.
Sure. Eric's there the whole time.
Yes.
Understood. Your Honor, I hate to keep doing this. I just want to bring up one other thing at the bench.
No, it's better.
Okay.
Possibly the nicest judge in the history of the land, almost to his detriment. If I was him, I would have lost my mind on these fucking jabronis by now. Even the prosecution is giving him shit. I posted a clip about it yesterday, but like she was like rude to him. I'm like, he's like, and like I know the difference between like fighting for your argument and being rude, and like that prosecutor was being rude to him. Not to mention the defense has been rude to him like a billion times.
I'm sorry, briefly, we're going to go back to the Sedona Mago letter. Scott, can you publish, can you bring up 2-4?
There's Stoneface McGee.
Go ahead, Mr. Bloodworth. What's
Making
the
her
state's
faces,
Your Honor,
thinking
the
she's
state
better
moves to
than
admit
everyone.
2-4.
Consistent with the court's ruling at sidebar, states Exhibit 2-4 is admitted.
Just 1 moment.
Of course.
Oh, guys, this is where, if you didn't see this before, this is where old Kouri here decides to be Elle Woods. Hashtag girl boss. Basically what they're trying to decide here is, do they put a part of this letter in or the whole thing? And when these idiots don't know what to do, so she just steps up. Watch this. Look at Kouri. She's like, I don't care. Just put it all in there. Put it all in.
Your Honor, I just think under Rule 106.
And then Wendy's Lewis is like, yeah, let's listen to her because she knows everything. She can't spell any words, use the right your. She thinks read your rights is WRITH. But let's listen to her. Let's listen to her.
For completeness sake, if we're going to put this in, let's just put in the whole letter.
Thanks, Kouri.
I'm not aware
Thanks
of
for
what's
stepping
under
up, Kouri.
the redaction, so would the two of you approach for a second?
And
make sure
they got to fucking approach again. They got their steps in this day.
While we work through something, thank you. Earth, forgive me, how much time do you need to come up with an unredacted version?
We have it.
Okay. Scott, would you, the screens are muted, would you show it to me for a moment, please?
That's it.
-4. Further, Ms. Lewis? Okay.
I've been reading, so I'll read it. This is the life story of Kouri. Kouri was born in 1990 in Oklahoma. Her parents were married and worked for the same engineering company. They were both previously married with children. Her father had a daughter, Tanya, and her mother had a son and a daughter, Renee and DJ. Scott! Renee and DJ. Together, Kouri's parents had Kouri and her brother Ronnie. Ronnie and Kouri had to move a lot when they were kids. From 1990 to 1996, they lived in 17 different states due to their parents' work. That's a lot of states. Kouri's father was a successful engineer, but was also an alcoholic and been most of his life. In 1996, he was drinking and driving and fell asleep at the wheel and hit/ran over a cop who had another car pulled over to the side of the road. He was put in prison for the next 6.5 years. Kouri's mom, who today is her best friend, had her own addiction. She is a compulsive gambler. Once Kouri's father was put in prison, her mom then filed for the divorce in 1998 and continued working full-time, rarely being home. Tanya, Kouri's daughter, was raised by her mom. DJ, Kouri's half-brother, lived with his... Scott, you can move it now. Scott! Oh, there's a Scott in the chat. Scott in the chat. You're good. Scott! I love that sound effect. Oh, I can fast over there. Where was I? Let's raise ways. DJ, Kouri's half-brother, lived with his father. However, Kouri's older sister helped Kouri's mother raise Kouri and Ronnie while their mom worked. Once Renee turned 18, she left and never had a relationship again with Kouri or Ronnie because she blames them and having to help raise them, destroying her life as a kid. In 2000, Kouri and Ronnie and their mom moved to Utah to be closer to... Damn it, Scott. Scott! Wait, where did it go? Did I miss half of this shit? And continue working. What? Oh, closer to Scott. You're fucking killing me, Scott. Their mother was a compulsive gambler, and there was a casino only a couple hours away from our home every other weekend. Growing up, we would spend it in a hotel room while mother gambled. Eventually, our home was foreclosed on. Multiple cars, repo, and ends were barely being met. Kouri's mother spent everything and more to fulfill her addiction needs, even if that meant losing our home multiple times. Kouri lost trust in her parents at a very young age. She graduated from high school in 2007. When she's 17, eager to begin, really good sentence structure here. She graduated from high school in 2017 when she's 17, eager to begin college and have a stable life, make a stable life for herself. She began college and met her now husband, when Kouri met her. What the fuck? For herself. She began college and met her now husband. When Kouri met her husband, she instantly fell for the idea of a marriage with kids and happy family, a stable family, because that was her dream. Kouri got pregnant her sophomore year of college, which is very unexpected. At the time, Kouri's relationship was very rocky, but she thought no, once the baby gets here, I'll be happy and everything will be fine. Kouri had her first son in 2012, graduated college that same year. She then got married in 2013 because she told herself, when I get married, I'll be happy. In 2014, she had her second son because she told herself, another baby will make me happy. Kouri then started graduate school in 2016 because that will fill this hole and make me happy. I think that was supposed to be a-hole or bunghole, and make me happy, but it didn't. In 2017, she had her third son, and her life spiraled downhill. She graduated from grad school in 2018. However, she also found out her husband had been having an emotional affair. Kouri went to counseling on and off because of anxiety, depression, this constant need to chase happiness. Her husband emotionally to chase happiness. Her husband? Emotionally, she is exhausted from years of hearing, you're selfish, you're not enough. There's the "you're." We got to work on that "you're," Kouri. She's exhausted from years of hearing, you're selfish, you're not enough, you need me, from her husband. She's ready to open her heart and find the happiness. She's finding the happiness.
Shut up, bitch!
Who cares? Oh, I see comments now on YouTube. Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh
No
my!
further
Oh my God!
questions.
They show up as like comments. Oh my God! I just discovered you, so I'm not sure what all you do, but I'm living for your coverage of this case. I didn't know you did live. So happy to be here. Katie Eubanks on Facebook. Hello. Lisa Mary on Facebook. Hello. Thanks for being here. I used to do this live all day during the day, but now I have a full-time job, so I do recaps and I make videos that I post to every social media. Jay Bronius everywhere. What's up, Abby? What's up, Ashy? What's up, Grass is Green Enough? Amy. Thanks everyone so much for being here. Whatever, social media you're on, hit that like, subscribe button, do the things that you're supposed to do. Oh God, this idiot.
We've agreed that I'm going to handle this witness as a direct examination since she's here from out of town, so we don't have to bring her back.
Sounds good.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Oh God. All right, guys. I'm just warning you. If you, hello, Mona from San Diego. Thank you for being here on Facebook. I'm just telling you right now.
Afternoon. Huh.
And part of the reason that no one thinks you're funny, Wendy. Shut up. I'm just telling you right now. This is some of the most brutal questioning of a witness that I've ever seen. And like, I made videos saying that these two are morons, the law firm are Dumb and Dumber. And I got people like, man, law is hard. You don't know what you're talking. Listen, I've watched a lot of trials and I've seen a lot of attorneys. And I've seen attorneys who would judges like ask another question and they're like, and they ask another question and they do it the right way. These two jabronis can't figure it out after the 6th to 8th fucking time. The judge is like, ask another question. They're like, they still can't. Like, at this point, I'm surprised that the judge is not asking the questions for them. These freaking losers. So don't tell me, oh, they're doing a good job. No, they suck. And additionally, I wanted noted that even though they suck, they're not purposely doing it for ineffective assistance of counsel. That's not a thing. They're not doing it so that it purposely gets thrown away so that in years from now in a Supreme Court, like, that's not a thing. They're just dumb idiots and I don't like them. And I wouldn't be this hard on them if they weren't so hard on like the witnesses and they weren't like an asshole to the judge. I would give them grace, but they suck, bro. They suck.
Who knows anymore? How are you today?
I've been better.
I'm sure you have.
Allie, will you do me a favor? I'm sincere. You can sit wherever you like. Just
What do you
pull the
want it?
mic closer. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Allie, my name's Wendy Lewis. I know we've spoken, but we haven't met before, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I want to talk about, you knew Kouri, you said, since junior high.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And
Hello, Julie from Montana on Facebook.
did you do things with her and Eric as couples, or with also your children as families?
Both. We did things with our families as well.
All right. And did you go on a trip to Hawaii together?
I did.
And when was that trip to Hawaii?
I think it was early 2018.
Early 2018?
Yeah. February, I think.
Okay. And what was the purpose of that trip?
Our friend was getting married.
Which friend was that?
Selma.
Selma. Okay. And
Just got a $10 Venmo from Ayana, Speaker of Truths. Thank you so much, Ayana. Appreciate you.
something happened on that trip that Kouri was upset about?
Could you clarify?
Did something happen in terms of the travel to Hawaii?
Yes.
And what was that?
Kouri found out that Eric had hidden drugs in her suitcase without telling her.
Okay. And what was it that he put in the suitcase?
Gummies.
And was she upset about that?
Yes. Yes. We were laughing. Yeah. She wasn't crying upset. It was more or less a funny story, but not so funny.
Not so funny story. Mm-hmm. And I mean, is it fair to say she was not happy?
No, she was not okay with it.
Okay. And what was Eric Richins' reaction? You don't have to get into what he said, but how did he react to Kouri not being happy with him?
He thought it was hilarious.
He thought it was hilarious that he'd put
Yes, his thinking was...
THC in her bag.
Yes.
Okay, no, that's... I'm just clarifying. You're fine. Okay. Now, you said that you were visiting, and you're from California, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Or you're
I am.
living in California now.
Yes.
To be more accurate. And you were visiting here about a month, a little less than a month, 3 weeks before Eric died, correct? Or is that right?
Yes.
All right. And during that trip, you just talked about some things that happened during that trip when you were staying with the Richins. Did you take THC gummies with them at that time?
Not on that trip, I didn't.
Your Honor, State moves
Not on that trip.
2-4.
I don't believe so, no.
Did
No,
she
Eric didn't want me to.
Why
tell
didn't
you the
Eric want you to?
status
Do you
of
know
that
why?
affair?
Yes,
She
he
spoke
said
to
that
the
he...
judge.
Okay. Do you, without,
Sustained regarding calling for hearsay. Can you rephrase, Ms.
yes. All right. So you discussed taking gummies.
We did.
Abby just sent $20. Quit your job fund so you can stream Alex free trial.
Random question from Kay to Josh asking if he has killed or done drugs. Bet she was trying to set him up like Wendy with Jeff.
Thank you so much, Precious Gems, for that super chat, and thank you so much, Abby. for the Venmo. Thank you.
All right. And there was a concern about taking them. Is that fair?
Yes.
And why was there a concern about taking those?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. We maybe just ask her why she didn't do something or what her
Precious Gems, that was a $50 super chat. Thank you so much.
concerns were.
All right. Why did you decide not to take the gummies?
I was told they were bad gummies, that they made Kouri super sick.
Okay. Are you aware where those gummies came from?
No, I wasn't aware.
All right. You had taken gummies, THC gummies, with the Richins in the past.
Yes.
And where originally, you don't have to tell me who, but where were those gummies purchased from?
Well, I was never with him when he got them, but I knew it was from a...
Objection, Your Honor.
Foundation?
Foundation.
Okay.
All right.
Sustained.
You had taken gummies with the Richins in the past,
Yes.
and so had some of your other friends. It was something that you all did occasionally, just like having a drink. Fair?
Fair.
All right. And are you aware of, well, let me rephrase that. Were you all getting these gummies from the same source originally?
Objection, Your Honor.
Pause for one moment. I need a reason.
Foundation.
Okay. Would you please lay some foundation for whether and to what extent this witness knows about the source of anything that she took?
All right. Again, you were all getting gummies from the same source, right?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
I need you to lay some foundation, not
I'm
just
working
ask
on
the
it.
same question.
No, you're not working on it. You don't get it. Like, she doesn't get it. It's so frustrating. This is the most, and I'm not particularly a fan of this witness because she's clearly team Kouri and I am not. So, I mean, I'm not objective, not gonna lie. But, like, she can't do it. She can't get the question out. She can't figure it out. How many times?
Just break it down.
Do you know where you and your friends were getting the THC gummies from?
It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
You are aware? Okay. And for a time period, you were getting them from one particular person. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the time period that you were getting them from that person?
What do you mean?
Like, was it from 2018 to 2021? Was it from, can you give me a general time for how long of a time?
Would you pause there for one moment? Your objection, Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, objection, Foundation, particularly as it relates to whether or not hearsay is the foundation.
Right. Ms. Lewis, my apologies. Would you approach for 1 second?
Ms. Lewis, my apologies. You're an idiot. Get up here so I can tell you how to ask a fucking question. Jabroni.
Boo, indeed. Liar.
Ah, horse shit!
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
It's a yes or no.
Yes.
How are you aware of the person that was providing them?
Can you be a little bit more specific?
All right, hold on. I'm going to, this is particularly bad. Watch this. She's already been coached how many times by the judge? How many times? And watch this. Just watch this moment. Thank you, Dina or Tracy seeking judges.
They were all coming from the same person.
It's a yes or no.
Yes.
How are you aware of the person that was providing them?
Can you be a little bit more specific?
How were you aware where the gummies were coming from?
That's the same question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I know I'm an idiot. Like, are you kidding me? Sorry if my mic is too loud. Let me make it a little. Like, what are you doing? You asked the same question. What are we doing? What are we doing? Trying to find my.
This house is a fucking prison on planet bullshit. In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
I guess I don't have the haha shut up one. I was hoping I had the haha shut up from. Oh, maybe I do. Let's see. Yes, I do.
Shut up!
That would have been perfect.
Were you ever there when the gummies were purchased or brought or delivered? You were never there?
No.
All right. Did you ever purchase them yourself?
No.
So, can you tell me how you knew? Let me just come out. So, did someone tell you where the gummies were coming from, or did you have personal knowledge of where the gummies were coming from?
I was told where they were coming from.
All right. Okay. How was it that you found out that Mr. Richins had died?
Our friend Kelsey called me.
Called you?
Yes, I was called on the phone.
Yes. And was that the day that Mr. Richins passed away?
Yes.
All right. And what did you do when you found out?
I cried.
And then what did you do?
And then booked a flight and came the very next day.
All right. So you arrived?
I arrived on the 5th.
On the 5th. All right. And how did Kouri seem when you arrived?
Distraught. Like she was grieving.
And you've known Kouri a long time?
Yeah.
And you've observed her on other occasions where she's been upset?
Yes.
Ever anything this traumatic, or was this the first time?
This is probably the most traumatic one I've experienced so far, yes.
All right. Did anything about her behavior or her reaction strike you as unusual?
No.
Were you there when there was a celebration of life held at the Richins house the night after he died?
Yes.
And how many people were there at that event?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. There was a lot of people.
More than 10?
There were people coming in and out the whole time.
All right. Was this something that was planned, like a planned event?
No.
So it was, can you just describe sort of how it started?
People came to show their condolences.
Lisa Mary, thank you for confirming it's still working on Facebook. I was in the wrong place. Katie Eubanks on Facebook says, I've watched so many trials and I've never seen a duo quite like Kathy and Wendy. It's made this trial a real life circus. You're not kidding, Katie.
And grieved at the loss of losing Eric. That's how it began. That's all it was.
All right. And was there alcohol?
Yes.
What else took place at the event? What were people doing? They were drinking?
We were playing with the kids and talking about memories of Eric.
All right.
Dancing, talking about him, remembering him.
Okay. Would you describe it as an upbeat, happy event?
It was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't a party, if that's what you were trying to ask.
Okay. What would you describe it as?
Remembering his life.
All right. Can you pull up Defense Exhibit 1089, just for the witness?
Today, Scott.
Do you recognize that photo?
Yes, I took the picture.
All right. And was that taken the night that we were talking about?
Yes,
And do you recognize the people in that photo?
I do.
All right. Could we publish, or could I admit and then publish? Defense 1089.
No objection.
Okay. Defense 1089 is admitted.
Okay. And maybe if you want to step down just for a minute, if you could tell us who the people are in this photo.
I'd rather not.
If you would just stay close to a mic.
I know.
I'd rather not. It's pretty fucking funny. This girl.
Tell us who the people are in this photo.
I'd rather not.
If you would just stay close to a mic.
I know.
And
I just
then
realized I didn't have one on.
here you go, Allie. You can use that when you this time. There's listen, you should get near a mic.
All right. Just from left to right, can you tell us who's in the photo?
That's Kouri. I can't remember his name, but that's Eric's best friend.
Can you maybe put the mic up?
That's Eric's best friend. I can't remember his name.
Is that Bryce?
Yeah, that's Bryce. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, that's Bryce.
Oh, so this is the dude who was on those long calls and also apparently always takes his pants off. Is known as a guy that just takes his pants off.
That's Allie, Cody's wife. That's Chelsea, and that's Amy,
Amy
Eric's sister.
Richins. Okay. You can sit back down. We can take that down. So how long did you stay after Eric passed away?
I stayed overnight that night.
Were you there the next day when Amy Richins came to the house?
Yes, I was.
All right. And were you there when Kouri was trying to get into a safe that belonged to Eric?
I was.
Do you know why Kouri was trying to get into the safe?
Excuse me. Yes.
Why was she trying to get into the safe?
She wanted to see what his will said.
And did she know the will was in the safe, or do you not know?
No, she knew it was in there.
All right. And then what happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, was she able to get into the safe?
She was not. She didn't know the code.
And then was there a conversation about her not getting into the safe?
Objection, Foundation, as it relates to hearsay.
All right. Who was present when she was trying to get into the safe?
She wasn't even in there at first.
When you say she, who are you talking about?
Kouri wasn't even in there. It was
Who was in there at first?
her brother and the locksmith.
Okay. So a locksmith was called to try and open the safe.
Yes.
All right. And then what happened after that, Court?
Amy and Bryce were leaving, and Amy saw the logo on the side of the truck and ran into the garage to stop Kouri from getting into the safe.
Do you know why she was trying to stop Kouri from getting into the safe?
Because Amy was...
Foundation.
Yeah. It's speculation. How?
Well, if she knows why.
But how she knows is the genesis.
See, like, that's what I'm talking about. That is a stank attitude. You're talking to the nicest judge in the world. Show him some respect. Like, listen to this fucking attitude.
Foundation.
Yeah. It's speculation. How?
Well, if she knows why.
But
you're not talking to, like, your friend. Well, she knows why. Have some respect for the judge. He's the nicest man in the world. He's teaching you how to do your fucking job.
how she knows is the genesis of the foundation and speculation objection.
You were there, correct?
I was.
And you saw the reactions of everyone in the room.
I did.
And you saw Kouri become very upset. Did you see Kouri become very upset?
I did.
Do you know why Kouri was upset?
Yeah, because she was told that it was not her.
Objection.
If you'd stop there, calls for hearsay. Sustained.
You did see Kouri's reaction
I did.
to not being able to get into the safe. Let me rephrase that. You saw Kouri's reaction based on what was going on regarding the safe.
I did.
And you saw her, well, tell me, what was her reaction?
Pure frustration and rage.
Rage?
Yeah.
Was she crying?
Yes. She was shaking.
And in your opinion, was that reaction over the top?
No, I thought she was valid.
Did you think she was unreasonably out of control?
No.
Was that reaction unexpected, given what was going on in the room?
No.
Okay. Just one moment. If I just have a moment.
Of course.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
I did forget something. Let's go back to what you were talking about with Mr. Bloodworth regarding the sandwich. So when you were there, you said that Eric said, what did Eric say to you again about the sandwich?
Can you clarify the question, please?
Yes, you were talking about when Eric got sick from a sandwich, right? You talked about that with Mr. Bloodworth.
I did.
And he told you, what did he tell you?
That he believed that Kouri had tried to poison him.
Okay. Did he tell you, I believe Kouri tried to poison me, or did he say to you, did Kouri tell you she tried to poison me?
No. He said, he said Kouri tried to poison him.
All right, and who was there? Kouri was there?
Yes.
And what was her response to that?
She was laughing and she said that's not what happened.
And what did happen?
I don't know what happened.
Well,
he took a bite of the sandwich and got an allergic reaction and had to shoot himself with an EpiPen.
okay, so they talked about that there was an allergic reaction.
Yes.
Was everyone laughing?
Yes, we were all laughing and we jokingly said, "Don't eat what Kouri feeds you."
Okay. And did Eric appear upset about what had happened prior with the sandwich?
No.
Did he seem scared about what had taken place?
No.
How are he and Kouri getting along when you were there that last visit?
They seemed better than I'd seen them in a long time.
Okay. With that, I have nothing further.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, any additional questions for Ms. Staking?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I mean, in her defense, if I had to take questions from Wendy Lewis, I'd be fucking pissed.
Okay.
Watch her face.
Mr. Bloodworth, any additional questions for Ms. Staking?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ma'am, let me make sure I understand the travel to Hawaii. Am I right that it was funny at the time because Kouri did not get caught with the gummies in her luggage, but it would have been less than funny if she had got caught? Is that the joke?
Speculation.
Overruled.
Could you ask that again?
You said there were Eric and you and Kouri and everybody were joking about Eric putting weed gummies in Kouri Richins' luggage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is the joke that it was funny because she didn't get caught?
No, it was funny because she didn't know.
I see. Okay. Can we turn to the gathering on March the 5th, 2022, right? The day after Eric Richins' death?
Okay.
And you and others, many friends of Eric, some of Eric's family members, I think were there, right?
Yes.
And people were drinking and toasting Eric.
Yes.
People were also using weed gummies that night too, as well?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of.
That photo you showed, or you looked at, it was labeled Exhibit 1089. That was at the beginning of the evening?
No, that was towards the end. It was I don't know. It was mid-evening.
Okay, there came a time, right, when Mr. Knutson removed his pants?
Sorry, who?
Do you know who Bryce Knutson is, the
I
guy in
know
that photo?
Bryce. I don't know his last name.
Okay, did there come a time when he removed his pants at that celebration?
Not that I remember, but probably.
Okay. Do you remember the photo?
Let's just like, what is Bryce's reputation that she says? The question is asked of her: did Bryce take off his pants? And she says, "Not that I remember, but probably." Like, what is this? This dude's just always taking off his fucking pants. The day after his best friend dies, he's taking off his pants. And what's going on? He's got boxers, a thong. Like what? Like what's going on underneath the pants? Why is the guy always got his pants off? Is he? I assume he's not free balling. What? Like, I'm trying to see if I have that old school. Please tell me. Oh, here we go.
Good feeling at you. What? What? I thought we were in the trust tree in the nest. Are we not?
It was before or after that?
It was before he was dressed.
Scott, can I get Exhibit 8-8, please?
The witness can see it.
Ma'am, do you recognize that?
I'm going to be honest. What is the prosecution getting at here? I'm like confused. Like, what are they trying to get at?
Or that video, rather, as an accurate depiction of what was occurring in parts of that evening?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state's going to move 8-8 into evidence, but ask the court not to publish it. What the state's going to do is prepare a vision of that blurs out the face of any children, and then publish that to the jury at a different time.
We're just going to blur out
Ms. Lewis.
The children's faces
The
and also Bryce's cock and balls.
8-8 that blurs out any minor children is admitted. We'll publish it later.
Thank you, sir. Scott, can you bring up 8-8 Delta 2, please?
Are you able to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boss lady says, I think they're trying to say the party was not grieving.
Is this supposed to be moving,
That makes
Scott?
sense.
Your Honor, it's not. It is
Okay.
a still frame from that video. The state moves 8-8D2 into evidence.
Ms. Lewis?
No objection.
Okay. 8-8D2. You're going to mark this later with a sticker?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Is admitted. Would you like to publish?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
What are they trying to show here? That she's putting in eye drops? Is that what they're trying to show? Oh, is she shotgunning a beer? Wait, is that what they're showing? Is she shotgunning a beer? Is that what they're showing here? Like, are they trying to show that they're like raging the day after? But like, his sister's there, right? Like, isn't that like, what are they saying? That like, if you're saying that the people in the party are like, was this like,
Thank you. Your Honor, may we approach to have a common understanding on something?
Sure.
Christine on Facebook says you make true crime fun. Thank you so much, Christine. Yeah, so for some reason I'm like getting a lot of views on Facebook. So thank you everyone who's on Facebook, who's there now and who have liked my reels and followed my page. I appreciate it. And if you want, subscribe to me on YouTube. If you don't, I'm Jay Bronius. everywhere. And if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. I don't know if you can like the stream on Facebook, but if you can, I think you can if you could like it there. And thanks so much, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. And let me fast forward.
Of the wake. Just going back to the night of the wake.
Mm-hmm.
And have you been to wakes before?
Yeah.
Or was that your first one?
No, I've been to wakes before.
And was anything about this unusual to you?
No.
This is how you'd seen people at other wakes right after a loved one had died. Fair?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
Kouri happy that night?
No, we were trying to be happy for the kids. We were trying to stay positive and keep it light.
Okay, so
for her kids.
And that's fair. And you said you spent the night at the house.
I did.
Who else spent the night at the house that night? Do you know?
Yes, Amy did, and so did Bryce, and I believe Chelsea did as well.
Okay, so just the four of you. Other adults went home. Then the kids were there.
Yeah. Yes,
All
and
right.
the kids were there.
Do you recall that Kouri left that event early to go to bed with one or more of the children?
No, I don't recall.
You don't recall that?
No.
Okay. All right. I have nothing further.
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, may we release this witness?
Yes, we may.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I appreciate your patience. Thank you for your time. Please travel safely. You're free to go. Should we talk about scheduling or?
All right, so we finished that witness. Hey, Post-Punk Mama. Hey, everyone on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for being here. We're doing a rewatch of some witnesses. I want to do... I don't think I'm going to do Chelsea Barney because, first of all, that's a long amount of testimony, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was tearing up during Chelsea's testimony, like, just thinking about her saving her life savings that she made on tips to buy a house that she thought she was buying a house, $45,000, and then paying all those mortgage payments only to find out her best friend, her entire life, just stole it from her. And she didn't even know until the new owners were like, get the fuck out. The bank doesn't know you. Get out. With her 4 kids. That testimony was devastating. Also, she was giving me Alanis Morissette vibes from the 90s. But let me go. I want to watch, what's her name? This girl. Because I want to talk about her testimony.
Ms. Lloyd, if you'd step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? I do. Thank you. Please have a seat. Thank you so much.
So the reason I'm playing her testimony is because I got some comments from people who said they didn't think that she was credible, and after it was all said and done, I thought she was. So we'll see what you guys think.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you could state your name, please, and spell your last name.
My name is Becky Lloyd, Lloyd.
Where do you work?
I work for C&E Stonemasonry.
And how long have you worked there?
I've worked there 5 years.
What is your current role with C&E?
I am currently their estimator.
What's that mean?
It means C&E Stone, we put stone on houses, and my job is to figure out how much we need on those houses.
What was your job back with C&E when you first started with them?
I got hired originally as an admin.
And when was that?
That was in February of 21.
Did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How long did you know him for?
I met him sometime around 2017.
Okay. And what about Kouri Richins? Do you know her?
I do.
And did you meet her around the same time?
Yeah.
In 2021, what was the nature of your relationship with Kouri Richins?
I knew her as a neighbor. I knew her as the mother to my children's friends, and I knew her as my own friend.
I want to turn your attention to December of 2021. Was there a conversation that you had with Kouri Richins in December of 2021 that stood out to you?
Yes.
What was the date of that conversation?
December 17th of 2021.
That's a specific date. Why do you remember that date?
Because I keep a journal and I have photos from that date.
What were you doing that day?
We were.
So I've been advised that, I don't know if she is a Mormon, but I've been advised that with Mormons, journaling is like a big thing. Is that true?
We're doing a Secret Santa gift wrap for C&E Stone. We get presents for families in the neighborhood that don't get a good Christmas, and we were wrapping them to give away.
Now, when you say we, was that, who's the we?
Me and Kouri.
Okay, just the two of you then?
Just the two of us while we were wrapping, yeah.
Was there a topic of conversation that came up related to Kouri Richins' marriage?
Yes.
How did that come up?
I had recently gotten divorced a couple months before, 3 months before, and she was asking me how that was going, and I was asking her about how her marriage was going, and her and Eric had a fight that day, so it was definitely on the top of her mind.
What did Kouri say to you?
Kouri had an opportunity to go to a work event of some sort, like a Christmas gala, something like that. And it was going to be a really good opportunity for her career. She was excited about it. At the same time, Eric had booked a sleigh ride with the family for Christmas, a good family activity, and they had a scheduling conflict, and they did not agree about what they should do for that scheduling conflict.
What else did Kouri say during that conversation about her marriage with Eric?
She talked about how she was feeling trapped. She was feeling like there wasn't an easy way forward out of the marriage. She felt like she was worried about her kids. She was worried that she was going to lose them and that Eric was going to take the kids from her and that his family was going to turn the community against her. And she said that in many ways it would be better if he were dead.
What was the tone of Kouri's voice during that conversation?
It was serious. She definitely had a very serious tone. We weren't really joking. It was a very honest conversation and a very heartfelt conversation. And you could tell from her body language that, she was frustrated and she was struggling with where she was at. It was a serious tone.
What was your reaction to Kouri saying it would be better if Eric were dead?
To me, it really signified just how far their marriage was off track and how serious the situation was, and I felt bad for both of them. That's a heavy conversation.
I don't have any other questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, what do you do? Look at this. Fix your face. Fix your face. You're at the trial for a murder. Your life's in the line. Fix your face. Or not. And let the jury watch you like you're better than everyone.
Good morning, Ms. Lloyd.
Good morning.
My name's Kathy Nestor. I'm one of the attorneys representing Kouri Richins. First of all, I want to talk to you about how you got the job with C&E.
Absolutely.
Isn't it fair to say that Kouri helped you get that job because you'd just gotten a divorce and she was doing something nice for you?
I would say Kouri helped me get that job. Yes, she let me know that it was available and definitely made sure that I knew that it was an option for me.
And she was the reference for you to her husband, Eric?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. And when you were...
Also hilarious that she's making these fucking faces when Nestor is like, the prosecution's making faces, Your Honor. Can there be a gentle admonishment? Meh.
Working at C&E during the time that Eric was alive, Kouri was actually on the payroll, right? She got like a paycheck every couple weeks.
That's true.
Right. And isn't it also true that right after Eric died, she called and said, don't send me anymore?
I believe so, but I am a little fuzzy on that memory.
Okay. But at some point she came off the payroll.
Correct.
Really quick after Eric died.
I would say so.
All right. I want to talk to you about the conversation on December 17th. And this was, as I understand you, Kouri and Eric every year did a Secret Santa project where they gave less privileged people anonymous Christmas gifts, right?
Absolutely.
And so you were there wrapping those gifts?
Yes.
And you were having girl talk?
Yes.
And you're somebody that she trusted?
Yeah, I hope.
Because you had confided in her about your marriage?
Correct.
And the fact your husband had been unfaithful?
Correct.
And she felt safe and talking to you about similar things like that?
Yes.
Okay. And when you were
like, that was just to be an asshole. Like, did she really have to bring that up? That was just to shame her about her husband. Was that absolutely necessary as a line of questioning? Or was that just her being an asshole? Because I'm clearly not objective. I can't stand this woman. But, like, did she have to bring that up about her husband? That was her just being a,
at this meeting about, let me look at the date, just 1 minute. A couple of weeks after Eric died, you gave an interview about this conversation you and Kouri had.
Yes.
And you gave it to a private investigator that worked for the family of Eric Richins. Right?
I actually don't remember if it was at that time, but I do remember in a meeting with him, yes.
April 6th of 2022 at your house. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
All right. And this gentleman, who was not law enforcement, he was a private investigator, right?
Yes.
And he came to your house and you told him about this day that you spent with Kouri, didn't you?
Need like to see becoming a beau on the YouTubes. Capri Sun's in the chat. Welcome. Need light to see.
I don't remember, but I assume so.
All right. And isn't it fair that in that first interview, you never mentioned anything about saying it would be better off if Eric was dead, did you?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then you had a second interview almost 2 years later in March of 2024 with the same investigator. Is that right?
Sounds right.
And then the investigator said, wait, I understand you've talked to Katie and there was something you forgot to tell me the first time we met about a statement Kouri made.
That's true.
And what you forgot to tell him was this part about it, he'd be better off dead, right?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it fair that in this second interview in 2024, almost 2 years after, you even in that interview told him that you couldn't get on the stand for sure and say that she said that, didn't you?
I do not recall that.
Okay, Katie, can you please play the clip BL1? If we could cue that up and play it for her to hear.
Cue it up. And let's make sure we're all talking about the same thing. My apologies. Do we have a foundation issue here, Ms. Sherman?
Yes, I don't know what they're referring to, and if they're seeking to refresh her, then I believe that should be handled slightly differently.
Yeah.
No, I believe she said she didn't say it, so I don't think I need to refresh her. I think I can impeach her at this point.
If you would just approach for a second. Carafe.
Thank you.
You got some water?
I do have water.
If you need more, it's in the carafe.
Thank you.
No problem.
By the way, the judge is just he always takes care of every witness that's up there. Just like the nicest man in the world. Having to deal with these fucking jabronis.
Going to be playing a clip that we have marked. We're not going to admit it. We're just going to impeach with it, but it's BL1.
Okay. And let's see, Katie, let me get you connected here.
Debbie says on Facebook, she says, Devil's advocate, ask yourself if a friend seriously told you they'd be better off if their spouse was dead, would you remember that or forget it or say you were 80% sure this witness is not credible? That is what Debbie says. And then Christine responds, good point. But before it actually happened, she probably just thought it was a strange thing to say. after it takes on a whole new meaning. Thanks so much, Need Like to See.
And this.
By the way, I'm reading the Facebook chats because I don't know how to. Botrix does not have the ability to put the Facebook chats on the screen, so I'm just trying to make it so it's a little more of a experience for both parties. He is
And this part, I swear she said it, but I also feel like if you put me on a stand, I would not be confident enough to actually truly know if she said it. But I swear she said, in many ways, it would be better if he just died.
Is that your
Because, and I remember thinking, the reason I think.
That's it. Is that your voice?
That is my voice.
All right. And you did say that you wouldn't be able to swear to it on the stand, didn't you?
I wouldn't be confident in that, yes.
Okay. And then if we could play the second clip.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the conversation we had, and I for sure know she said the trap stuff, and I am 90% sure she said the comment about it being better dead.
Okay, so again, that is the second interview that you had with the investigator. And again, you're saying you can't say for certain that she made that statement, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You also never told that statement to the police when you were interviewed by the police, did you? Until later, much later, like 2024.
I don't know if I got interviewed by the police in 2024.
Okay. All right.
Van Viti wants the hair care
While
deets.
you were employed at C&E, which you've testified to, after Eric died, were you instructed to go to the house and pick up some of his private items?
Yes.
And who asked you to go pick up his things?
Your Honor. Scope.
Help me understand. If you would approach Mr. Beck.
I'm trying to. My Stream Deck is all messed up. I used to hit a button whenever there was a conference with a judge and we did shots, but it's not working. I got to fix my Stream Deck. I'm trying to find if I have the actual just sound bite of shots, but I can't find it. Dang.
I call my lawyer.
You saying you want a piece of me?
I'm just goofing. New boot goofing.
Oh, ma'am, we are going to ask you some more questions in our case. So I will see you again, and that's all I have for you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Chervenak, anything further today?
Yeah, sure.
Christine is watching on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks, Christine.
Miss Lloyd, we listened to part of your conversation during one of your previous interviews, and do you recall during the rest of that conversation explaining why you remembered Kouri making that statement?
I do.
What's that explanation for why you remembered that specific statement from Miss Richins?
Well, as someone who's gone through divorce myself or marital troubles, I know that it is probably somewhat common to have thoughts that aren't necessarily the nicest about your spouse and to have really strong feelings that way. But I was struck because she said it out loud. And some of those thoughts are what you'd call an inside thought sometimes. And it was memorable for me enough that after I met with the private detective, I went and talked to my friends. And without prompting, I said, hey, remember that conversation I told you about? What did I tell you about it? And they were able to confirm exactly what I said in my statement here, because it is a very big deal, and I respect the justice system very much, that I am never going to get on this stand and say something that I don't know as truth.
Are you confident in your testimony today?
I am.
Those are all my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So
I see there is a disagreement. Some people saying she's not credible, some saying she is credible. I thought this part here is what kind of tipped it over. I can understand why people say that she's not credible based on, but this part here to me made her more like Catherine Nestor couldn't just leave it well enough, leave it alone. And this part here, like her emotional reaction to me, made her seem more credible than non-credible. But that's just me.
Now it's your testimony that you were told about this statement by someone else?
No. My testimony is...
Wait a second. Debbie says, I produce reality TV 25 years. This part makes my eyes rolls into the back of my brain. This is scripted to make up for her lies. So that's what Debbie thinks. Debbie, reality TV, what do you produce? Please tell me you produce Suddenly Amish, because I want to meet Jacob from there so bad. He should get his own show. If you're not watching Suddenly Amish, is that what it's called again? I think Suddenly Amish, right? Yeah. You should watch it just for this guy Jacob, who's my hero. All right, sorry for the non sequitur.
It is very difficult to say such a thing when someone that you care deeply about has been leveled with such charges. It is very difficult, so that is why it didn't come up in the first interview. It is a very difficult position to be here on the stand saying things like this. I don't want to be here. No one has supplied my testimony to me. No one has made me say anything about that. No one has supplied words to me. I know that that happened, and it is unfortunate that it happened because I don't want to be here saying it, but I know that that is what was said.
And in fact, the friend you're talking about is Katie Richins, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Didn't you discuss this statement with Katie Richins, and Katie's the one who sent you to the private investigator?
Katie is the one that made the private investigator aware of it, but that is not who I had the conversation with about it as far as the truth of the statement.
But you did have a conversation with Katie about it.
I did.
Okay. And then you also had a conversation with some other friends who helped refresh your memory about what you might have said?
They confirmed what I said. They did not supply a sentence to me. They did not do anything like that. They just helped me do a hard thing.
Okay. And who did you tell about this statement prior to reporting it, besides your friends and Katie and the private investigator?
What do you mean?
Did you tell anybody else?
I told my friends. I told my partner. I told the investigator, Katie. I don't recall who else.
Okay. And this was all in 2024 when you brought it up to the investigator?
My friend conversation would have been in 2021, right about the exact same, probably within a couple days of that conversation initially with Kouri.
And you would agree that if Kouri was planning to kill her husband 60 days later, it probably wouldn't be a really smart thing for her to say to you, hey, it'd be better off if he were dead, would it?
Now make your objection that the question is complete, Ms. Shervin.
It doesn't matter now.
Okay.
Go ahead, you can answer.
Say it again, please. I'm so sorry.
If Kouri Richins was planning to kill her husband in about 70 days after she made that statement to you, it wouldn't be a really smart thing to tell someone like you, hey, it'd be better off if he were dead. What?
There's only one problem with that question about being a really smart thing to do, and that's because Kouri Richins is a fucking moron. I don't care what someone very smart would do. Kouri Richins is a fucking idiot. So that question, objection, relevance.
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Calls for speculations
Do you have an
from a moron.
opinion about that?
Same objection.
Doesn't call for speculate.
It's sustained.
Okay. Did you ever ask Kouri directly?
Kouri Richins is upset that the police didn't read her rights. WRITES.
What did you mean when you said that to me on December 17th?
No.
You never gave her the opportunity to explain whether she was just venting, whether she was joking, whether she was serious?
Unfortunately, no.
Right. And you had a long time to do that before you reported it to this investigator, didn't you? As a friend.
I suppose so.
Yeah. That's all I have to think.
Like, even that right there, yeah. Like, you're an attorney. This isn't, you're not a mean, like, this is not like, yeah. Like, what, fuck you. Yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah. That's all I have.
That's not a question. Like, obviously, if, like, I hate her. Debbie says, never seen it. Dozens of shows, Real Housewives, Top Chef. I know when people are fed lines. We did that interview. This is that. I now make documentaries. Very cool, Debbie. Very cool.
Miss Lloyd, when Kouri Richins told you it would be better if Eric was dead, was she joking?
No.
What was her
speculation, Your Honor?
What was her tone?
Object to speculation.
Hold on. Let's pause. Yeah. The question regarding what she was thinking, or was she joking, pardon me, is sustained. Can't consider the answer no, because this witness can't know what's in another person's head. You can ask her about her demeanor.
Sure. What was her tone of voice?
Serious.
Was she laughing?
No.
Was she smiling?
No.
Did you have any reason to believe that she was joking?
No.
One last question. Were y'all drinking?
We had had one beverage. I had had one beverage.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
Real quick, my wife is in the chat, and I just shared her channel. For people who are new to this channel, she has her own channel, Mindful Crime Couture. She does court fashion. She does psych analysis of people, and I've asked her if she's been very busy, but if she has time, maybe do a little analysis, because Ayanna asked of Kouri here, so she may do that. I don't know. But check out Mindful Crime Couture on YouTube. You won't regret it. When people say their better half, she's my better 90%. So Mindful Crime Couture.
May we allow this witness to step down?
Yes.
All right.
Chief, please advise.
I got it. Thank you.
That's like, he's like, settle down. Here's the judge being like, settle. Like, he wouldn't, because he's too nice. But he's like, settle the fuck down, Nessler.
All right.
Chief, please advise.
I got it. Thank you. If you're called back, you'll get notice.
Okay, thank you.
In the meantime, please don't talk to anybody about your testimony. Please don't watch any coverage, read any coverage, listen to any coverage about the case.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Please travel safe.
Thank you so much.
Counsel.
Your Honor, the state calls Gabe Morin.
Okay.
We don't have to watch all. This is the guy who owns the diner, who, Dummy got the sandwich from. The only thing that I was happy about is that you can get a bacon, egg, and cheese somewhere outside of New York and New Jersey. So that was nice to hear. But I don't think we need to watch this guy. And that's pretty comparable to New York. $13.75. I mean, it's a diner. Also, it's a diner. I'm glad there's diners out. Like, I know not everywhere has diners. FB the Cook says, Jay, please keep doing these. You'll be my new watch. I will keep doing them. What do you guys want to watch next? The Call. We got The Call. We got
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you,
Joshua. Hey, Jan. That is a fun fact. The Greek omelet recipe has not changed since they opened.
Mr. Kase, let me ask you 3 yes or no questions, okay? Based on that conversation.
Oh, wait, this is not the beginning. I will do Josh. Josh, you could just tell, good guy, awesome guy. Such a good witness.
Mr. Kase in?
I mean, Josh was such a good witness and so like real that the defense was like, we're not gonna cross this guy because it won't be good for us.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Yes. Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What, sir, is your name?
Joshua Kase.
Is your last name spelled K-A-Z-E?
Yes,
Sir, did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How?
I met Eric probably in 2014 through some mutual friends. Hung out with him a couple times, and then started working in Park City in 2016 for a builder, and Eric Richins was a subcontractor that I worked with quite a bit from 2016 on.
Aside from a business professional relationship, did you have a personal relationship with Eric?
Yeah, so after I started working in Park City, him and I became friends pretty quickly. I played on some of his recreational sports teams. We both liked camping and hunting, so we kind of hit it off on that front. And I think starting 2017, we started hunting together quite a bit each fall.
And would you take trips together to hunt?
Yeah, I think we went to Idaho on some trips 2 or 3 times. Went to Colorado on a trip once, and then a number of times here in Utah.
Are those hunting trips, pack hunting trips, where you pack in, hunt, pack out?
Mixture of both. We'd, hike in a lot. I think we went on some that were pretty grueling. Idaho in the Frank Church Wilderness was a pretty grueling experience. Our last one that we went on together in Colorado ended up being pretty physically demanding, but it was a mixture of sleeping out. Sometimes we'd sleep in trailers, all the above.
Either professionally or personally, in the last few years of Eric's life, how often would you speak with him?
I'd say probably at least every other week. We had a lot of jobs going with Eric and his company. And so we would speak a lot about that. And then obviously in the fall, we would get to speak quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of the hunting trips we went on, it was just him and I on quite a few of them. So, talk a lot on those hunts as well.
Do you get to know your hunting buddy pretty well when you're out packing with him?
Yeah, especially if it's just you two. There's nobody else to talk to. So, yeah, I think you get to know him pretty well in those situations especially.
What was Eric like personally?
He was very kind of outgoing, confident, fun person to be around. He's just kind of magnetic personality. Obviously not shy, I'd say competitive, especially in the sports that we played. He was extremely dependable. One of the best subcontractors I've ever had. If you asked him to do something, he didn't forget. It was always done. every time he said he would be somewhere or get something done, he always got it done. He was very, very responsible and good that way.
Have you ever observed Eric sick or injured?
No.
Have you ever seen him use over-the-counter drugs?
No.
Have you ever seen him use prescription drugs?
No.
Have you ever seen him use illicit drugs?
No.
Have you ever observed any indication that Eric used drugs?
No.
Do you recall receiving a phone call from Eric Richins at about 2:11 p.m. on Valentine's Day 2022?
I do.
Without saying what Eric said to you, why is it you remember that phone call?
It was notable, I think, for a couple reasons, but the main reason was just well, the topics of the things we talked about, but also the emotion, I guess. It was unlike any other conversation I'd had with Eric. Mostly just kind of his spirits felt almost like somber, and anybody that knows Eric, most of the time you would call and he would already be talking upbeat, and this one was a lot different.
How did he sound to you?
Like I said, somber would be maybe a way to describe it. Very serious. Maybe sincere, which can be is a little like, especially for friends that joke around a lot and kind of rib each other quite a bit, which we did. It was just very outside the norm.
Had you ever heard Eric sound like that before?
No.
Based on what Eric said to you, and without saying anything that Eric said, did you offer Eric any advice?
I don't know that I would say advice other than maybe like questions, like suggestions and questions was my response.
What questions did you ask Eric?
Chad, can we approach?
Objection! Extremely racist! Oh my God! I will smash your face into a jelly!
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Kase, let me ask you 3 yes or no questions, okay? Based on that conversation, did you ask Eric Richins if he was okay now?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric if he was going to go to the hospital?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
Sir, after that call with Eric Richins, did you speak to anybody else about that call?
Yes.
Who did you speak with?
I talked to my wife that night about it. And then a day or two later told a mutual friend, actually two different mutual friends of mine and Eric's.
Did there come a time after Eric's death when you spoke about this call with Kouri Wright?
Yes.
Did Kouri Wright have a similar call with Eric Richins?
Object to hearsay.
Sustained.
When you spoke with Kouri Wright about this call, did Kouri Wright say anything inconsistent with your call with Eric Richins?
Object to hearsay.
Sustained.
So that's all I have. Thank you.
No questions, Your Honor.
May we release this witness?
She
Ms.
knew
Nestor?
better.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Knew better.
Kase, you are free to go. Please
It's one of the
travel
first
safely, sir.
witnesses they
Thank
didn't
you. Thank
cross. So one thing I want to watch, because I did not see it because I was working, was does anyone know what day they showed the freaking drug dealer? What's his name? Robbie? No. His police interview. I want to see that, but I don't remember what day it was. All right, we already did this, jabroni. No.
Quicker at this. Scott, if you would disconnect and reconnect on your end, I'll do the same on mine.
It had to be Monday, right? No. All right, so this was it was after this day. This was day 5, so it's got to be day 6, right? It was the next day, wasn't it?
Quicker at this. Scott, if you would disconnect and reconnect on your end, I'll do the same on mine.
I just want to see his. Aha!
So we're here to talk
Aha!
to you.
I found it. I am a genius.
Scott, please give it a try.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this or as all the two were not used proper.
Seems like we've lost the audio now.
That's all right. I'll fix it.
Scott.
Scott, please give it a try.
And the phone number for you.
That county.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
I'm about to say, I haven't been in Summit County.
I know you haven't, but you had involvements with people in Summit County that we're looking at. That's what we're here to talk to you about.
What?
Phone number for you, Robert.
385. I couldn't even tell you. I'm so confused right now.
Okay.
Can't remember. I mean, that's. Let me jack up the audio here. For folks who don't know, I got a audio booster so we can hear this jabronius.
I really can't. My phone's doing this.
Okay. Do you want to know your phone number then?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get to why we're here to talk to you in just a minute. But before I do that, I'm going to advise you of your rights because you're obviously in custody here at jail, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to an attorney and with you during questioning if you wish. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed for you before questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without having a lawyer here, you can stop questioning anytime until you're spoken to a lawyer. You understand those rights I've explained to you? Having those rights in mind, you want to talk to us today?
I mean, start from now.
Okay. So we're here to talk to you about a transaction that you made a little over a year ago with a female named Carmen Lauber that Nicole put you in touch with. You met her at a Maverick and Draper on 2 separate occasions in February of last year, so a little over a year ago.
Okay. It's not
Ringing a bell at all?
Not ringing any specific bells, no.
Okay. Well, let me give you a little more information then. So we've talked to Carmen, we've talked to Nicole. We talked to Nicole yesterday, got her phone and downloaded everything we needed off of her phone. You sold Carmen blues on 2 separate occasions there at the Draper Maverick. As a result, somebody died from that transaction. So we're not interested in jamming you up or anything like that. We're simply here for information. But we know that you sold those, and we can prove that through cell phone records and that kind of stuff. But right now, your information for us is more valuable than you being charged federally with selling fentanyl that results in death. Like, now you're in on some drug stuff. Do you know anything about the federal rules with fentanyl and 30s? And
I don't know anything. I know I've got a distribution of, I got a cop of 30 of them in December.
The M30s?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us what you know. Like I said, right now your information is more valuable, but at this point we can prove, we know that you met with Carmen at that Draper Maverick on 2 separate occasions, sold her fentanyl. That fentanyl is then used in a death case basically, so we've tracked it back to this point. But we're not interested in jamming you up. We're here to try and corroborate information.
Corroborate.
Validate.
I know
what Carmen and Nicole have both already told us. So you're in the position right now of either telling us what you know about it and basically not hurting anybody because Carmen and Nicole have both already talked to us and tracked it here, and you're verifying information we have. Or if you don't want to talk to us, that's fine. We will pursue it federally because we know that you sold them the fentanyl that resulted in a death. So that's kind of where we're at. And I'm not trying to bullshit you. I'm just kind of laying it out exactly how it is right now.
So, I know who Nicole is.
Okay.
About a year ago.
February 5th and 25th is when Carmen messaged Nicole. Nicole gave her your information.
Okay.
Then you guys set up 2 transactions at the Maverick and Draper.
Okay. Of last year?
Yes. It's not this previous February, a year before that. It's been a bit.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, Bowen, I'm still quite good at this. So, I'm not trying to be a douchebag or nothing, so it's hard to remember that much time passed. And do you have a number that she bought from me? Was it a quantity?
She said between 20 and 30 pills both times.
Okay. Then probably, yeah.
Do you remember going to that Maverick and Draper? Were you living down there at the time, or?
She lives, I want to say she lives pretty far away.
She lives in Heber.
Yeah, so like that was just where we were meeting.
Where were you coming from? Where were you living at the time?
I've been living a little bit everywhere. Okay. Maybe the last couple of years.
So it's kind of ringing back. You're kind of getting a little bit more. Well, tell me what you can remember about it.
I remember Nicole calling me and saying, "Hey, will you be my friend?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that, and then she was like, "Oh, she wants a lot." And I was like, "All right."
Is 30 a lot for you, or is that a lot for Nicole? Or?
I think it was a lot for Nicole. It wasn't a lot for me, but I was like, "All right." I didn't know anybody died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we didn't expect that you knew that. And like I said, that's why at this point, your information is we're not interested in jamming you up or the distribution of it or anything like that. We're doing our investigation. You're kind of just on the edges of it a little bit as kind of an involved player, as being a hook basically for it. We're not interested in jamming you up or anything like that, but we are interested in the information you have you provide to us that validates what people have already told us.
Okay, as far as I know, I met her just 2 times. I think I talked to her a couple more times after, but just to see, you know what I mean? Hey, because when somebody's spending, you know what I mean? $500-600
is that what 30 would run about $500 or $600?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And did you hit her up afterwards to see if she wanted more, or did she hit you up afterwards?
I think I asked her one other time, and then she just didn't.
She's like, "Hey, you looking for any more?" or something.
Yeah, something like that. And she just didn't respond to me. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how you contacted her? Was it through text messaging, messenger?
Well, I want to say it was through text messages, but I haven't had that go through for the longest time.
What phone would it have been on?
My phone. Fuck. Maybe a 3336156 number.
Do you still have that phone? No. Okay. The phone you have now is a newer one then?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you contacted that Carmen at all with that phone or anything? No. Do you know where that old phone would have been that would have had those text messages on it?
No, I lost that phone a while ago.
Okay. But what did you think the phone number was, you said?
385-333-6156.
Okay. So with these transactions, when Carmen hit you up, what did she tell you?
She just told me that she had a friend that wanted,
Did she ask for blue specifically or fentanyl specifically, or did she ask for oxygen? What did she ask for?
No. I think she might have asked me for blue. I can't remember.
But you sold her M30s, right?
Yeah, I told her she knew what she was buying.
Okay, so it wasn't like she's asking for oxys or something like that, and she got the M30s.
Right, no.
Okay. So she knew that there was fentanyl in those pills.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you remember where you got those pills from?
I don't specifically.
Okay. What else can you tell us about that? That's all we're here to talk to you about was that transaction, those two transactions, I guess, a little over a year ago. We don't care about anything else, but what else can you remember about those?
She was with the older guy.
Do you remember what kind of car they showed up in?
No. Well, I said one time it was like a truck. Like a white truck or something.
Okay. When you say she was with an older guy, do you remember about ballpark how old he would have been?
I don't know, 50s, probably 60s.
You thought maybe one time in a truck, but you couldn't remember the other one?
No, so they were in a car the other time. I don't remember what car.
Okay.
Like the first time she was in the truck, though, for sure.
When you guys would have showed up at the Maverick, where would you go? Would you go around back the Maverick, or just right there at
Just
like
right in
Palms?
front. Yeah.
Just a quick hand-to-hand.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
And you just said that was about $600 or so of what you charge for those.
Something like that.
Okay. Do you remember? So I think she would have ordered more the second time. Do you remember the quantity of the two?
I don't remember the exact.
But you remember meeting her twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really remember meeting her twice because you guys told me I met her twice. I would have said once.
But do you remember now that kind of jogged your memory?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think of anything else about those meetings with her or anything?
No, those are the only two times I talked to her.
Okay. How do you know Nicole?
There was a dude named Cam. I was staying with him, Roy, for a while. And she stayed there for a little while, and then she took off, and then Cam's a fucking widow, and we all ended up taking up one point or another. So.
Okay. So Nicole just hit you up and said, "Hey, would you want to meet with my friend?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Yeah, that's cool." And you were in the apartment. Did she call you or text you? Do you remember?
I believe she called me.
All the time, or just that one time? Or?
I think she would she would take me like, "Hey, what's up?" And then one of us would call the other one.
Like, "Hey, I'm Nicole's friend," or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How long was your? Like, "Hey, I'm Nicole's friend," or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How long was your game?
I think she would she would take me like, "Hey, what's up?" And then one of us would call the other one.
Would you press pause? We'll fix that.
Yeah.
My apologies.
$10 super chat should read it. Let's see if it reads it.
Justice for Eric Shackles for evil Kouri Gresser job J. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Out there, or drug court or some shit, whoever she was living. She was on, she was either on AP&P or on drug court or something. I don't remember, and she had to hurry. It was always in a hurry, she was like, "Okay, well, I'm leaving here now, so I can meet you halfway. Can you meet me halfway?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that."
And halfway was that Maverick there at Draper?
Yeah.
Okay. You said one time she came with an older guy. Do you remember if that was the first time or the second time?
I believe it was the second time.
First time, do you remember if she showed up with anybody?
I don't.
Okay. Okay, I think those are all the questions we had for you. If we have any more follow-up questions, you want to talk to us again as we kind of progress with this a little bit further?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you talking to us, Robert. Like I said, we're not here to jam you up over anything. We're just here to try and get some information and see what you
I
got.
fucking one day wake up with some fucking manslaughter charges.
No. We're not going to pursue that. Like I said, if you didn't want to help us out or anything, we kind of have this view right now that the people we're interviewing, we've got enough information. We're just trying to verify it. You're kind of either helping us out or you're not. And if you're not, you might, honestly. But all you've done right now, so we've already talked, Carmen's already talked, and Nicole's already talked. So you're not telling us anything we didn't know. You're not protecting anybody by not talking to us. All you'd be doing is basically rolling the dice with your future if you didn't want to talk to us. Because when the deaths are involved, the prosecutors do get a little spun up over it. And with fentanyl in the federal system, if you don't know this, if you get caught dealing fentanyl that results in a death, you could potentially face federal charges. It doesn't matter if you intended to cause the death or anything else like that. They're cracking down on it. So I don't know how long you're in for with. I know you're on possession with intent stuff, but if you are still dealing, don't be dealing with that shit anymore because the feds are coming down hard on it, and it's only a matter of time, especially with how nasty that shit is.
And both them bitches gave me my name. I'm like, oh, yeah, Ferrari.
Well, we'd already verified it through phone records. We already knew who they got it from. It wasn't like they told us anything we didn't know either.
Yeah.
We've been able to find everything we need through digital evidence, and all the contacts, all the messages on Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah, we knew all of that before we made contact with anybody.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were diming you out or anything.
Yeah, but I don't think me and Carmen even were friends on Facebook.
We actually were the ones that brought up your name to Nicole because we already knew that Nicole had put you in touch with Carmen, and we already knew all of that information. So we're just trying to verify stories is all we're trying to do at this point. So, do you have any questions for us or anything like that?
Other than this isn't going to backdoor me here?
No.
All right.
We're not here to jam you up or anything like that. We don't give a shit about what's going on down here or anything like that.
I was just going to ask you, do any of your people ever tell you what they're going to use it for themselves, if they're going to try to sell it to anybody else? What their intents are?
Everybody that I deal with does it themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I do it myself, they do it themselves. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Did Carmen ever mention anything about hooking it up for somebody else or anything like that?
No, like I said, like she was just, like I met her twice, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I figured it was a long shot twice. You met her a year ago. I knew it was going to be a bit of a stretch for you to remember, but anything else you can think of or anything else you can remember?
No.
Okay. As you think about it, if you do think of something, let one of the COs know or one of the investigators here at the jail know. They'll reach back out to us if you think of anything else you want to talk to us about or anything like that, okay? Any other questions or anything like that for us?
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead. All right. We'll go grab the CO and let them know you're ready. Okay.
Mr. Bloodworth, the state's next witness, please.
Your Honor, the state calls Molly Crosswhite.
I didn't see Molly. What's Molly do? What's she about? Molly Crosswhite.
She's a green.
Do you to the pains and penalties?
Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. What, ma'am, is your name?
My name is Molly Crosswhite.
And is the last name spelled Crosswhite?
Yes.
Do you know who Kouri Richins is?
Not personally, but through this trial, yes.
Okay. Did you purchase a home from Kouri Richins?
I did.
When did you purchase that home?
It was January 26, 2022 is when we closed on that property.
Scott, can I get 8-12, please? Your Honor, permission to publish. This has been admitted already.
It's up.
No objection.
Ms. Crosswhite, do you recognize that house?
I do.
Is that the home that you purchased from Kouri Richins?
Yes.
Did you ever move into that home?
No.
Did you rent that home?
I did.
when did your renters occupy that home?
They moved into the property March 30th of that year. Their lease began March 1st, but they did not move here till the 30th.
You said you closed on that home, I'm sorry, the 26th or 27th?
I think it was January 26th.
January 26th, 2022.
Yes.
And was that home occupied between the date of the closing and the end of March when your renters moved in?
It was not.
Were the locks on that home the same as they were on January 26th when you closed to the time your renters moved in?
They were the same.
And did Kouri Richins rehab that home for you?
Prior to us purchasing it, it's our understanding she had done a renovation.
And did she have the keys to that home throughout that renovation process?
I would assume so.
Susan from Facebook asks, is Bryce, Eric's BFF, going to be called? And that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Am I right then, as far as you know, that home was unoccupied between January the 26th, 2022, and the end of March 2022?
That's correct.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all the questions I have.
Ms. Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, oh, excuse me. Can I grab some water?
No.
So before you closed on the home, you entered into a real estate purchase agreement.
That's right.
Right. And can you pull up Defense Exhibit 1024, Katie? Thanks, Alex. Do you know the date that you entered into that?
Looks like it was January 14th, 2022.
Your Honor, we'd move to admit Defense Exhibit 1024.
No objection.
Defense 1024 is admitted. Would you like to publish?
Sure.
Okay.
And then, Ms. Crosswhite, you closed on the home January 26th, was your testimony.
Yes.
Between January 14th and January 26th, did you do a walkthrough of the home?
Yes.
And what was in the home at the time that you did the walkthrough?
The home had been staged when they were marketing it for sale. So at that time, there was furniture in it. I think by the time we did our final walkthrough, which was a couple of days before we closed, all of the furniture had been removed from the property.
Was there anything else in the home once the furniture was removed, such as boxes?
Not that I recall. I don't remember exactly what was still there, but I do know that we had wanted the home to be fully vacated and all of the debris, and there was some garbage and things on the premises, like old cars even, that we had asked to have removed.
So do you recall if there were any boxes or cups or any items left in the closet of the home?
I don't remember.
Had there been, would you have asked that that be removed when you did the walkthrough a couple of days before closing?
I think that if it was something significant that we would really notice as a bunch of garbage or something that was going to be troublesome for us to remove from the property, we would have asked for it to be removed. Like a small item like a cup, I can't say would have stood out.
All right, that's fair. Now, you said the renters, their lease began March 1st. They didn't move in until the end of March. But was there work being done on the home during the time you closed and the time the renters moved in?
There was.
And particularly, was there work being done throughout February of 2022?
Yes, I think I provided a list of dates that was on record with our contract.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't give a shit what the fuck she's talking about. It's been a couple hours. I'm going to finish the stream. There was a request. Chris sent a request to, and I like this request, to play the part where the judge said fuck on Thursday. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to end the stream. I may go live tomorrow morning. is there any? If I go live tomorrow, let me know in the chats if there's any particular witness you'd want to see that I haven't already watched. When does he say fuck? That was when it was before. It was before. When was it? It was who's. It was her testimony, right? Here it is. I think this is it.
Drawn inference regarding the content of the conversation with Cody that has been excluded. Am I with you so far?
Yes, except that we.
Or would be about anything personal. His details down. Likely testimony are as follows. This is details matter here, so if you can write those details down. The green message from Ms. Barney on June 17 at 10:36:04 includes the following sentence. Quote, fuck that, you wouldn't call Cody about anything personal, end quote. I understand.
It's like hearing your teacher curse outside of school. He just said, ooh, he just said the F word.
6:04 includes the following sentence. Quote, fuck that, you wouldn't call Cody about anything personal, end quote. I understand your position to be that when considered in context of Cody's testimony would provide.
All right, this is a good time to end because my stream is... Oh, shit. My stream is lagging, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on YouTube, Facebook, and all the places. If you guys could, if you haven't already, like it. If you're on the replay crew, like it, share it. Facebook, like it, share it. Like and share all the stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you all, everyone, so much. Thank you for the super chats, the Venmos, and good chance tomorrow morning around 10 Eastern, I would say. I will do another stream if I can watch. We can think of some stuff to rewatch from the trial. So thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you guys, and have a good